Now to the border, where some tonight are asking if Operation Lone Star has crossed a line, perhaps. That question is coming up after a Texas DPS trooper brought up allegations of mistreatment in what is now a leaked email.
As Ken Molestina is going to walk us through, some lawmakers now want an investigation into those concerns.
The leaked email, obtained independently by CBS News, was sent to DPS brass earlier this month by a trooper working in Eagle Pass. In it, the trooper voices his concern for alleged orders they were given when handling migrants at the border. In one instance, he recalls coming across a large group of asylum seekers, including small children, and adds, "We called the shift officer in command, and we were given orders to push the people back into the water to go to Mexico. We decided this was not the correct thing to do." He also writes, "The wire and barrels in the river needs to be taken out, as this is nothing but an inhumane trap in high water and low visibility. Due to the extreme heat, the order to not give people water needs to be immediately reversed as well." In addition, he said, "I truly believe in the mission of Operation Lone Star. I believe we have stepped over a line into the inhumane. We need to operate it correctly in the eyes of God."
The Statue of Liberty right now is crying, seeing and hearing these allegations about
Domingo Garcia, the national president of the League of United Latin American Citizens, or LULAC, was quick to respond to the allegations. So was DPS, saying in a statement, "The Office of the Inspector General is investigating the allegations made in the email in question. There is not a directive or policy that instructs troopers to withhold water from migrants or push them back into the river."
Who do you believe, Texas DPS, or do you believe this trooper?
I believe the whistleblower. I believe that this is a decent man who could not believe that these were the orders that they were being given on the ground.
It's a belief echoed by Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez, who's leading a group of Democratic politicians in asking the U.S. Justice Department to look into the claims.
If the current investigation into these allegations proves that this is true, whose hands do you think this falls on?
I think it falls on Steve McCraw and every one of his hierarchy within the Department of DPS. I think it falls on this governor. It is a federal crime. It is a federal crime to use your office to cause harm to somebody.
Late this afternoon, we should tell you Democratic Party members of the Texas delegation called on the Biden administration and the Department of Justice to launch investigations. So meanwhile, the Texas governor's office issued a joint statement late today with DPS, the state's border czar, and the Texas military department. It said in part, quote, here it is, "No orders or directions have been given under Operation Lone Star that would compromise the lives of those attempting to cross the border illegally." The Texas Department of Public Safety and Texas military department continue taking steps to monitor migrants in distress, provide appropriate medical attention when it's needed, and encourage them to use one of the 29 international bridges along the Texas-Mexico border where they can safely and legally cross. We have posted, by the way, the entire statement. There's a whole lot more to it. It's on our website, cbstexas.com. But, you know, this is something, again, they're calling for some investigations of the highest levels, so we'll see.
Okay. Ken, thanks for taking us inside.
You got it.